Hello again. One of my other videos was near the source of the Elbow River at the confluence of the Little Elbow and Elbow Rivers in the mountains west of Calgary. This time, in order to counteract some of the symbolism of the previous video, I decided to go to the mouth of the Elbow River where it meets the Bow River just behind me. This is near downtown Calgary, what would have been downtown Calgary if historically some speculators had done a little bit better job of attracting business to this particular spot. But this, I think, is symbolic of where most vocal damage occurs. It doesn't occur when we are trying to sing high notes, as I tried to symbolize by going to the mountains in the previous video. It's done by people in the city going about their daily lives, not even necessarily singing. People who have to talk for long hours every day, like teachers and doctors, including the doctor that I went to for a diagnosis when I thought my throat was sore. The whole time he was talking to me about how people who sing a lot might injure their voices. He was coughing because he'd injured his voice. He hadn't injured it by singing, he just injured it by talking in his regular voice all day. So it seems to me that vocal health is something that's important to everyone, not just singers. And that singers, on average, I think, are probably in better shape vocally than other people. They can talk loudly without damage. They can produce a sound for hours on end without damage. And they're used to looking for the signs of damage. When you're at a high elevation, symbolically, as there was in the mountains, you think about the possible dangers and you look for them. If I'd been up on that slope and I'd needed help, I could have sent a message easily because there was a line of sight for a walkie-talkie. Anybody in the parking lot could have received my message or even heard me if I'd sung loudly, which would have been useful, or they could have seen me up on the slope. When you get to low elevation, as I did on my way back from that hike, it can be very difficult to be seen. You're hidden from view and your voice won't carry through the obstacles as well. And when we're low, when we're among other people, we think we're safe vocally, but that seems to be when we're actually at greater risk because it's something we do all the time, don't think about it very much. When I go to high elevation symbolically, because high notes aren't really high at all, they are fast notes. The vocal cords vibrate more quickly, not higher in elevation. I think it takes effort to get there, it takes training, and so high notes, it would seem to me, are a sign of vocal fitness, a little bit like climbing up the mountain because it takes effort and training to get there, and you have to be somewhat strong and well conditioned to do it. So if the high notes start to disappear, that's a sign that there might be trouble with one's voice. But to say that I'm in bad shape because I'm singing high notes, even ones that don't sound very good, is false. It seems to me. I asked the doctor about it and he said that you can't diagnose someone's vocal health simply by listening to the quality of a note. And much vocal damage is done by people who sound very good. They're just singing for a very long time or perhaps a little bit more loudly than might be good for them. And there are, of course, famous cases of this. So I would say that I have developed my voice in large measure by making noises that didn't sound good, but which seem to have increased my vocal strength in range.